What can a drunk homeless guy teach you about the law? Hi, I'm Larry K, ShadowAnyone.com, and the creator of the Investigator's Ultimate Guide series, Premium Private Investigator Training, from someone who's been there and done that. Of course, you know, if you follow me regularly, I'm not an attorney. Nothing here is legal advice. But it is an interesting thing. If you work as a private investigator, you're doing interviews, maybe you're going out investigating things, you're out on the streets, maybe you're loss prevention or security, whatever it is, you may have had the experience or occasionally still have the experience where people spit at you. Now, there's a distinction here between people spitting at you and people spitting on you. And while it makes a huge difference to us, the interesting thing is it also makes a big difference in the law sometimes. So what you'll see is a drunk homeless person or somebody who's trying to avoid apprehension will spit at you, very specifically trying not to hit you, but to threaten you, to get you away. What are they doing here? Simply, they're trying to avoid a felony. They're going for maybe a menacing threats by spitting at you, whereas if they spit on you, it's usually considered some kind of assault. So they're going for that misdemeanor versus felony. It's the same reason you'll see some die-hard gangbangers who will shoot someone in the leg rather than shoot them above the waist. And they don't necessarily care whether the person lives or dies, maybe even has a preference that the person dies. But if this ends up going to court, they can always claim they weren't trying to kill the person. It's a felonious assault versus an attempted murder, and that can make a big difference in your sentencing. Now, how does this help you? What does this mean for you? One, if you have somebody who's spitting at you, and you can tell they're not really trying to hit you, but they're making threats and they're talking about the diseases they have, this means a couple of things. It means, one, they're not really at the end of their rope yet. They haven't pulled out the big guns of really trying to hurt you to get away with whatever they're doing. So they're not quite at the end of their rope yet. And number two, what this means is they're still looking for a way out, which means there's still a little bit of reason going on, and sometimes you can still handle this with words, or it means you've got a little bit of time if you're calling for backup, if you're calling for the police, that may be going on. Now, this does not mean you can drop your guard. It's not that it's not dangerous, anything like that, but it lets you know that they've not really gone as far as they will possibly go to get away from you or get away with what they're trying to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and give you next week a real-world case study on how to use this concept if you're trying to make an apprehension, so that you can do it with a lot less physical force and sometimes avoid physical force altogether. This is Larry K, ShadowAnyone.com. Remember, do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing.